yes, my sister Martha and I have been talking all week about your sermon last Sunday. It's really quite wonderful, Dr. Harper. In just 2 short years, you've really managed to capture the spirit of Brooklyn.
That's very gratifying, Miss Brewster.
You see, living here next to the church all our lives, we've seen so many ministers come and go. The spirit of Brooklyn, we always say, is friendliness. And your sermons aren't so much sermons as friendly talks.
Personally, I've always enjoyed my talks with Cardinal Gibbons. Or have I met him yet?
Oh, no, dear, not yet. Are the biscuits good?
Bullet!
Dr. Harper, would you like another biscuit?
Oh no, I'm afraid I'll have an appetite for dinner now. I always eat too many biscuits just to taste that bully jam.
But you haven't tried the quince. We always put a little apple in it to take the tartness out.
Oh, no thank you.
We'll send you over a jar.
No. You keep it here so I can be sure of having your biscuits with it.
Well, with this war trouble, I hope they don't make us use that imitation flour again. I mean, it may not seem very charitable of me, but I'm beginning to think this Mr. Hitler isn't a Christian.
If only Europe were another planet.
Europe, sir.
Yes, Teddy.
Point your gun the other way, to the west. There's your danger, there's your enemy.
Oh, yes, of course.
Japan.
Teddy, that's quite enough.
Nope. Not so much talk about Europe and more about the canal.
Well, let's not talk about war. Would you like another cup of tea, dear?
No, thank you, Teddy.
Dr. Harper?
No thank you, Miss Abby. Though I must admit that war and violence seem far removed from the surroundings.
Oh, yes, it is peaceful here, isn't it?
Ah, yes, peaceful. The virtues of another day. All here in this house. The gentle virtues that were blown away like candlelight, and good manners, and low taxes.
It's one of the oldest houses in Brooklyn. It's just as it was when Grandfather Brewster built and furnished it. Well, except for the electricity, and that we use as little as possible. It was Mortimer who persuaded us to put it in the first place.
Ah, yes. Your nephew Mortimer seems to live only by electric light.
The poor boy has to work so late. Oh, I understand he's taking Elaine to the theater again with him tonight. Teddy, your brother Mortimer will be here a little later.
Delighted.
We're so glad it's Elaine Mortimer takes with him.
Yes, it's a new experience for me to wait up until 3 o'clock in the morning for my daughter to be brought home.
Oh, Dr. Harper, I hope you don't disapprove of Mortimer.
Well,
We feel so guilty, Sister Martha and I, since it was in our house that your daughter met Mortimer.
no, of course not. Let me say immediately that I myself believe Mortimer to be quite a worthy gentleman. But I must also admit that I've been watching the growing intimacy between your nephew and my daughter with quite some trepidation. And for one reason, Miss Abby.
Oh, you mean his stomach?
Stomach?
His dyspepsia. He's bothered with it so, poor boy.
No, Miss Abby. I'll be frank with you. It's your nephew's unfortunate connection with the theater.
Oh, Dr. Harper, I'm afraid you're mistaken. Mortimer writes for the New York newspaper.
No, I know, Miss Abby, I know. It's just that, as a critic, they're constantly exposed to the theater, and, well, I don't doubt that some of them do develop an interest in it.
Well, not Mortimer. You need have no fear of that. Why, Mortimer hates the theater.
Really?
Oh, yes, he writes terrible things about the theater. But you can't blame him, the poor boy. He was so happy writing about real estate, which he really knew something about. And then they just made him take this terrible night position.
Oh, my.
But as he says, the theater can't last much longer anyways, and in the meantime, it's a living. Yes, I think if we give the theater another year or two, then perhaps maybe. Oh, I wonder who that could be. Teddy! Thank you, Teddy. I'll get it. Oh, hello, Mr. Brophy.
Hello, Miss Brewster.
How are you, Mr. Klein?
Very well, Miss Brewster.
Gentlemen, what news have you brought me?
Colonel, we have nothing to report.
Splendid. Thank you, gentlemen. At ease.
You know Dr. Harper.
Sure. Hello, Dr. Harper. We've come for the toys for the Christmas fund.
Oh, yes.
That's some very splendid work you men do, fixing up discarded toys to give the children a happier Christmas.
It gives us something to do when we're just sitting around the station. Get bored playing cards, then you start cleaning your gun, and the next thing you know, you've shot yourself in the foot.
Teddy, why don't you go upstairs to your Aunt Martha's room and get that big box? How's Mrs. Brophy? Mrs. Brophy has been quite ill, Dr. Harper.
Pneumonia.
I'm quite sorry to hear that.
Oh, she's better now. A little weak.
Charge!
Well, I'll get some beef broth to take to her.
Oh, don't bother, Miss Abby. doing something nice, and for nothing. They don't even care how you vote.
Ah, yes. When I received my call to Brooklyn and moved next door, my wife wasn't well. And, well, when she died, and for months before, if I've known kindness and absolute generosity, it's because of Mr. Sisters.
Colonel, you promised not to do that anymore.
But I have to call a cabinet meeting to get the release of those supplies.
George! He used to do that in the middle of the night. Neighbors raised Cain with us. They're a little afraid of him.
He's quite harmless.
Suppose he does think he's Teddy Roosevelt. There's a lot worse people he could think he was.
It's a damn shame a nice family like this hatching a cuckoo.
Well, his father. The old Rose's brother was some sort of a genius, wasn't he? And Teddy's grandfather. Seems to me he was a little crazy too.
Yeah, he was crazy like a fox. He made $1 million.
Really? Here in Brooklyn?
Yeah, patent medicine. He used his house as sort of clinic here, tried him out on people.
Heard he used to make mistakes occasionally too.
The department never bothered with him, so he was good on autopsy sometimes, especially poison cases.
Well, whatever he did. He's got his girl set for life. And thank God for that.
Not that they use any of it on themselves.
I'm quite familiar with their charities.
You don't know the tenth of it. When I was working for the Missing Persons Bureau, there was this old man that we were trying to trace down that we never did find. You know, there's a renting agency that's got this place down on its list for furnished rooms. They don't rent rooms, but you can bet anybody that comes here looking for a room leaves with a good meal and a few dollars in their kick.
It's just their way of digging up to do some good too.
Well, now, isn't this nice?
Hello, Miss Brewster.
How do you do, Mr. Brophy? Dr. Harper? Mr. Klein?
How are you, Miss Brewster? You dropped by for the Christmas toys.
Oh, yes, Teddy's Army and Navy. They tend to wear out. I hope Miss Brophy's doing better.
Oh, she's a little better now, a little weak still. Your sister's getting some broth for her.
Oh, yes, I just came back from taking some to a poor old man who broke ever so many bones.
Oh, Martha, you're back. How's Mr. Beninsky?
Well, dear, it's pretty serious, I'm afraid. The doctor was there. They're going to amputate in the morning.
Oh, can we be present?
Well, I asked, but it says against the rules of the hospital.
Ah, you guys couldn't be of any use there anyways. And you must spare yourself something.
Well, here's the broth. Make sure it's good and hot.
Yes, ma'am.
No, this'll be fine. That O'Malley boy is nuts about soldiers.
General Miles? I retired him. What's this? The Oregon?
Teddy's ear, go ahead and put that back.
But the Oregon goes to Australia.
Now, Teddy,
No. I've given my word to fighting Bob Evans.
Who cares what kid gets it? Bobby Evans. Izzy Cohen. It's fine. Thank you, ma'am. We'll be going now.
oh, not at all. Please have a safe trip home. Send Mrs. Brophy my best. Don't forget the broth. Goodbye.
Well, I must be moving along as well.
Oh, Dr. Harper, before you leave,
George! George, the blockhouse!
The blockhouse?
The stairs are always San Juan Hill.
Have you ever tried to convince him that he's not Teddy Roosevelt?
Oh, no. He's so happy being Teddy Roosevelt.
well, once, a long time ago, remember, Martha? We thought it would be nice if he was George Washington for a change.
But he stayed under his bed for days and just wouldn't be anyone.
And we'd so much rather he'd be Mr. Roosevelt than nobody.
Well, if he's happy, and you're happy, you'll see that he signs these.
What are they? Dr. Harper has made all the arrangements for Teddy to go to Happydale Sanitarium after we pass on.
But why should Teddy sign any papers now?
Well, prefer to have it all settled now. If the Lord should ever take you away suddenly, well, perhaps we couldn't convince Teddy to commit himself. And well, that would mean some very unpleasant legal procedures. But don't worry, Mr. Witherspoon understands them to be filed away until they are needed.
Well, Mr. Witherspoon, who is he?
He's the superintendent of Happydale.
Dr. Harper has arranged for him to come by tomorrow or the next day to meet Teddy.
Wonderful.
Yes. Well, I must really be moving along now. My daughter Lane will be looking for me.
Oh, give Elaine our best. And Dr. Harper, please don't think harshly of Mortimer because he's a dramatic critic. Somebody has to do those things.
Abby, did you just have tea? Isn't it rather late?
Yes, and dinner will be late too.
Well, why?
Teddy, good news. You're going down to Panama to dig another lock in the canal.
Bully, just bully. I'll prepare for the journey at once. Charge!
Abby, while I was out,
Yes, dear. You were out and I didn't know when you'd be back, and Dr. Harper was coming.
but all by yourself.
Oh, I got along fine.
Well, I'll just go downstairs and see then.
Martha, there wasn't time and I was all alone.
But, well,
But just look in the window seat. Oh, it's Elaine!
Hello, Aunt Abby. Hello, Aunt Martha. I thought Father was here.
well, he just this minute left. Didn't you meet him?
No, I cut through the cemetery. And Mortimer hasn't come yet?
Oh, no, dear, not yet.
He asked me to meet him here. Do you mind if I wait?
Well, not at all. Come sit down. Well, we really must speak to Mortimer about doing this to you.
Doing what?
Well, he was brought up to know better. When a gentleman is taking a lady out, well, he's supposed to call for her at her home.
Oh, there's something about calling for a girl at a parsonage that discourages any man who doesn't embroider.
Well, he's done this too many times. We'll speak to him.
Please don't. After a man whose idea of nightlife was to take me to prayer service, it's so wonderful to go to the theater almost every night of my life.
Well, it's comforting for us, too, because if Mortimer has to see some of those plays he has to see, well, at least he's next to a minister's daughter.
Oh, Elaine! What must you think of us, not having tea put away at this time?
Well, don't you start on anything until Mortimer comes back, and then I'll help you out. Mortimer should be back any minute now.
Father must have been surprised not to find me at home. I better run over and talk to him. If Mortimer comes, you tell him I'll be right back.
It's a shame you missed him, dear.
Hello, Mort.
Hello, Elaine. Hello, Aunt Martha.
Abby, Mortimer is here.
Were you going somewhere?
I was just going over to tell Father not to wait up for me.
I didn't know that was still being done, even in Brooklyn.
Oh, hello, Mortimer. How are you, dear?
Oh, I'm well. And, you look fine. You haven't changed much since yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday, wasn't it? I was seeing a great deal of you lately. Well, sit down, sit down.
Abby, haven't we have something to do in the kitchen? You know, tea things. The tea things.
Yes, dear, the tea thing.
Yes.
Well, you two just
Make yourselves at home.
Well, can't you take a hint?
No. That was pretty obvious. A lack of inventiveness, I should say.
Yes, that's exactly what you'd say.
Well, where do you want to go to dinner?
I don't care. I'm not very hungry.
Well, I just had breakfast. You want to wait till after the show?
Well, now that'll make it pretty late, won't it?
Not with the little stinker we're seeing tonight. From what I've heard about it, we'll be up late by 10 o'clock.
Oh, Mortimer, you ought to be fair to these plays.
Are these plays fair to me?
I've never seen you walk out on a musical.
That musical isn't opening tonight.
No?
Darling, you're gonna have to learn the rules. With a musical, there's always 4 changes of the titles, 3 postponements. They like it in New Haven, but it needs a lot of work.
Oh. I was hoping it was a musical.
You have such a light mind.
Not a bit. Musicals somehow have a humanizing effect on you. After a serious play, we join the proletariat in the subway and I listen to a lecture on the drama. But after a musical, you take me home in a taxi. And you make a few passes.
Well, wait a minute, darling. That's a very inaccurate piece of reporting.
I will admit that it wasn't until after the Berman you told me I had authentic beauty. And that's a hell of a thing to say to a girl. But it wasn't until after our first musical you told me I had nice legs. And I have, too.
You know, for a minister's daughter, you know a lot about life. Where'd you learn it?
In the choir loft.
I'll explain it to you sometime, darling. The close connection between eroticism and, religion.
Religion never gets as high as the choir loft. Which reminds me, I better run over and talk to Father.
I've never been able to understand it.
What?
My falling in love with a girl in Brooklyn.
Falling in love? You're not stooping to the articulate, are you?
The only way I could regain my self-respect is to keep you in New York.
Did you say keep?
No. No, I've come to the conclusion that you're holding out for the legalities.
Well, I can afford to be a good girl for quite a few years yet.
I can't wait that long. Where can we get married in a hurry? Say tonight?
I'm afraid Father will insist on officiating.
Oh, God, I bet your father could even make a marriage service sound pedestrian.
Well, are you by any chance writing a review of it?
Forgive me, darling. It's an occupational disease. You know, may give that play tonight a good notice.
Oh, darling, don't pretend you love me that much.
Yeah, I'll telephone the papers.
Nevertheless,
All right, everything formal and legal, but no later than next month.
Oh, darling, I'll talk to Father and set the date.
Hello, Mortimer.
Hello, Mr. President.
What news have you brought me?
Just this. The country is squarely behind you.
Oh, well, goodbye. Goodbye.
Where are you off to, Teddy?
Panama.
See, Panama's in the cellar. He digs for locks in the canal down there.
You're so sweet to him, and he's very fond of you.
Well, Teddy was always my favorite sibling.
Favorite? Were there more of you?
Yeah. There's a sister, Joanne.
Joanne? Well, I've never heard of her, and your aunts never talk about her.
No, we don't like to talk about Joanne very much. She left Brooklyn early, by request. Joanne was the type of girl that liked to cut worms into two with her teeth.
What became of her?
Well, I don't know. She wanted to be a surgeon like grandfather, but she wouldn't go to medical school first, and that practice of hers got her into a lot of trouble.
Aren't you two going to be late for the theater?
We're skipping dinner. We don't have to leave for another half hour.
Well, I'll just leave you two alone together again.
Don't bother, darling. I better run over and talk to Father. Before I go out with you, he likes to pray over me a little.
Well, if the prayer's in too long, I'd have time to lead you beside distilled waters.
Mortimer! That's the first time I've ever heard you quote the Bible! I will think of you good influence on me.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to marry her.
Martha! I have wonderful news for you! Mortimer and Elaine are going to be married! Married! We hoped it would happen just like this!
Elaine must be the happiest girl in the world.
Happy? Just look at her leaping over those gravestones.
Well, when Elaine comes back, we must celebrate. We must drink to your happiness. Aunt Martha, is there some of that Lady Baltimore cake left over? Oh, yes, yes. And I'll open a bottle of wine.
And just think, it happened back in this room.
Aunt Abby, do you know where I put my tickets?
No, dear, I haven't seen them. Well, with Elaine beside you tonight, I do hope it's something you can enjoy for once. Oh, it may even be a romance with the name of it.
Murder will out. First thing you see when the curtain comes up will be a dead body. Aunt Abby, will you come in here?
Yes, dear, what is it?
You were going to make plans for Teddy to go to that sanitarium, right, Happydale?
Yes, Dr. Harper came by today and gave me the papers for Teddy to sign.
Well, he has to sign them right away.
Yes, that's what he seems to think. Then there will be no legal difficulties after we pass on.
Well, yes, he needs to sign them right now.
Well, there's no such hurry in that.
He's down in the cellar. Get him up here.
Oh, no, no, no. Once Teddy's down in Panama, you can't get his mind on anything else.
Right away, I tell you, right away.
Mortimer, what's going into you?
Listen, darlings, I'm frightfully sorry, but I have some shocking news for you. Now, we've all got to try and keep our heads. I know we've sort of humored Teddy because we thought he was harmless.
But he is harmless.
He was harmless. But that's why he has to be confined, why he has to be put away.
Mortimer, why have you suddenly turned against Teddy? Your own brother.
Well, you've got to know sometime. It might as well be now. Teddy's killed a man.
Oh, nonsense, dear.
There's a body in the window seat.
Yes, dear, we know.
You know?
Well, of course we do, but it has nothing to do with Teddy.
I saw the whole thing.
You forget?
We never drank your pink.
Who is he?
His name is Mr. Hoskins. Adam Hoskins. That's really all I know about him. Oh, except that he's a Methodist.
That's how you know about him. What's he doing there? What happened to him?
Well, he died, dear.
He died? And Martha, men don't just get into window seats and die.
No, he died first.
How did he die?
Mortimer, don't be so inquisitive. The man died because he drank some wine with poison in it.
How did the poison get in the wine?
Well, we put it in wine because it's less noticeable. In tea, it has a distinct odor.
You put it in the wine?
Yes, and I put him in the window seat because Dr. Harper was coming.
So you knew what you'd done. You didn't want Dr. Harper to see the body?
Oh,
Don't you tell Elaine. Oh, Abby, while I was out, I dropped in on Miss Schultz. She's doing much better. But she wants to take Junior to the museum.
Oh, yes, we must do that tomorrow or the next day.
Yes, but this time we'll see what we want to see. I won't let Junior drag me to another one of those scary pictures.
City desk. Al. Al, do you know who this is? That's right. Say, Al, before I left the office, I told you where I was going, right? Well, where did I say? That's right. It would have taken me about half an hour to get to Brooklyn, right? What time have you got? Yeah, that's right. I must be here. Aunt Abby and Martha, come in here. What are we gonna do?
Well, what are we going to do about what, dear?
There's a body in there.
Yes, Mr. Hoskins.
Well, for heaven's sake, I can't turn you over to the police, but what am I gonna do?
Well, for one thing, dear, stop being so excited.
And for goodness sake, stop worrying. We told you to forget the whole thing.
Forget? But dear Aunt Abby, can I make you realize that something has to be done?
Now, Mortimer, you're too old to be flying off the handle like this.
But Mr. Whatever.
Hoskins, dear.
Whatever his name is, you can't leave him in there.
We don't intend to, dear.
Teddy's down in Panama digging another lock for the canal.
I mean, you're gonna bury him in the cellar?
Well, yes, dear. That's what we did with the others.
No, you can't bury him. Others?
Yes, dear, the other gentleman.
When you say others, do you mean others, like more than one others?
Well, yes, dear. Well, this must be 11, isn't it, Abby?
No, dear, I think this makes 12.
Oh, no, Abby. I think this is still 11.
No, because I remember when Mr. Hoskins walked in, I distinctly thought to myself, he would make just an even dozen. Oh, well, I got the first one, so that makes
Hello?
it 12.
Hello?
But they're all in the cellar now anyway.
No, Al, I'm sober as a lark. I was calling because I was feeling a little Pirandello. You wouldn't know. Listen, Al, I'm glad you called. Listen, I can't cover that play tonight. Well, that's all there is to it, I can't. No, Al, you're wrong. I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. Just get a hold of George. Okay, and where were we? 12?
Well, yes, dear. Aunt Abby seems to think it's 12.
Okay, who was the first one?
Oh, Mr. Midgley. He was a Baptist.
I still don't think we can fully claim credit for him because he just died.
Martha means without any help from us. You see, Mr. Midgley came here looking for a room. Remember, Martha?
Yes, it was just after you moved to New York.
And you had your room upstairs, and we thought to ourselves, what a waste, when there were so many people who needed it.
He was such a lonely old man.
All his kith and kin were dead, and it left him so lonely and forlorn.
We felt so bad for him.
And then when he sat dead in that chair, looking so peaceful, well, your Aunt Martha and I promised each other that we could do whatever it takes to help other lonely old men reach that same peace.
So we just dropped dead right in this chair? That must have been awful for you guys.
Oh, no, dear. It was rather like old times. Your grandfather always used to have a cadaver or two around the house. See, Teddy was digging in Panama, and he thought Mr. Midgley was a yellow fever victim.
Which meant he had to be buried immediately.
So we all took him down to Panama and buried him in the lock. Which is why we told you not to worry, because we know exactly what's to be done.
So that's how this all happened. The man just walking in here, dropping dead?
Well, we knew we couldn't rely on that happening again, so...
Do you remember those bottles of poison up in your grandfather's laboratory for all those years?
You know your Aunt Martha's knack for mixing things. You've tasted enough of her piccalilli.
Well, dear, for a gallon of elderberry wine, I take a teaspoon of arsenic, a half teaspoon of strychnine, and just a pinch of cyanide.
Oh, that should have quite a kick.
Oh, yes! One of the gentlemen even found time to say, how delicious!
I have to get started on things in the kitchen.
Oh, Martha, I'll be back in just a minute to help you.
Oh, I'm trying out a new recipe.
I wish you could stay for dinner.
I couldn't eat a thing.
Oh, you have to wait for Elaine, don't you? Well, I'll just leave you with your thoughts.
Well, it's you.
Don't be cross, darling. Father could see that I was excited, so I told him about us, and it made it hard for me to get away.
Look, Elaine, go home. I'll call you up tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
You know I always call you up every day or two.
We're going to the theater tonight.
No, we're not.
Well, why not?
Listen, Elaine, something's come up.
What's wrong? Have you lost your job?
No, I haven't lost my job. I'm not cooking that play tonight. But just go home. I'll call you up, okay?
What's wrong? Certainly you can tell me.
No, dear, I can't.
Well, if we're going to be married, then...
Married?
Have you forgotten that not 15 minutes ago you asked me to marry you?
I did? I did, yes. Of course. Now, Elaine, as far as I know, that's still on. But, listen, go home. I'll call you up, okay?
No. Mortimer, what's wrong?
Hold on. Hello? All right, I understand it's important, but it can wait. Al, just hold on. Oh, wait. You're a sweet girl and I love you, but I have something on my mind right now. I want you to go home, wait for me to call you.
Don't try to be masterful.
When we're married and I have problems to face, I hope you're less tedious and uninspired.
Oh. And when we're married, if we're married, I hope I find you adequate.
Elaine. Elaine. Hello, Al. Al, are you there? Hello, Al. Al, are you there?
Mortimer, dear, that's the doorbell, not the telephone. I'll be with you in just a minute. Oh, hello, come in.
I understand you have a room to rent.
Yes, won't you step in?
Are you the lady of the house?
Yes, I'm Miss Brewster, and this is my sister, another Miss Brewster.
How do you do?
My name is Gibbs.
Well, you can just put your cane down and follow me.
Hello, city desk. Let me talk to Al again. City desk. Al. What? Oh, I'm sorry, wrong number.
May I see the room, please?
Well, won't you sit down for a minute and we'll get acquainted?
Now, that won't do much good if I don't like the room.
Is Brooklyn your home?
Haven't gotten a home. Live in a motel. I don't really like it.
Hello, city desk.
Well, are your family Brooklyn people?
Haven't gotten any family.
Oh, all alone in the world?
Yes.
Well, Martha, you've come to just the right place.
Al, listen, I can't cover that play tonight. Well, that's all there is to it, I can't.
What church do you go to? There's an Episcopal church practically next door.
I'm Presbyterian. Used to be.
What's George doing in Bermuda? Well, certainly I told him he could go to Bermuda. It's my department, isn't it? Well, see if there's someone around.
Is there always this much noise?
Oh, he doesn't live here.
No, Al, there's gotta be someone around. Hey, how about the office boy, the one we don't like very much? See if he could do it. Well, look for him, I'll wait.
I would really like to see the room.
Well, it's upstairs. Won't you try a glass of our wine before we start up?
Oh, never touched it.
But we make this ourselves. It's elderberry wine.
Elderberry wine.
Yes.
I hadn't had it taste like this since I was a boy. Thank you.
Of course.
Al, there's gotta be some printers around. Hey, Al, how about Joe, the guy that sets my copy? He ought to know what I'd write. Well, he's third machine from the left. See if he could do it. What do you mean? He might turn out to be another Burns Mansell.
Do you plant your own elderberry bushes?
Well, no, but the cemetery is full of them.
No, I'm not drinking. I won't start now.
Do you serve meals?
Well, we might, but first let's just see if you like our wine.
Mortimer!
Mortimer, not that one.
That was for guests only.
Go ahead, it's really very good.
Wait! Do you want to die? You want to be killed, murdered?
Mortimer!
Yeah, you want to be poisoned?
Mortimer!
Go!
Mortimer!
Go!
Mortimer! The whole thing!
You can't keep doing things like that. I don't know how to explain this to you, but not only is it against the law, it's wrong. It's not a nice thing to do.
Oh, Mortimer, I don't see why you have to interfere with things we like to do when we don't interfere with things you like to do.
All I'm saying is, it's become a bad habit.
We should not have told Mortimer.
Hello? Fine, I'll see the first act, but I'll pan the hell out of it. Listen, Al, I need you to do something for me. Get hold of O'Brien. That's right, our lawyer. Yeah, have him meet me at the theater. Okay, I'm depending on you, okay? I'm starting now. Listen, ladies, I have to go to the theater. I can't get out of it. But before I go, will you promise me one thing?
Well, we'd have to know what it was first.
Listen, I love you both very much, and I know you love me too. You know I would do anything in the world for you, so will you just do this one thing for me?
What is it?
Don't do anything. I mean, don't do anything. Don't let anyone in this house, don't leave this house, and leave Mr. Hotchkiss right where he is.
Hoskins, dear.
But why?
I need time to think, and I have quite a little to think about. But you know I don't want anything to happen to you two.
What on earth could happen to us?
Anyway. You'll do this for me, won't you? Promise?
We were planning on holding services before dinner.
Services?
Well, certainly. Mr. Hoskins was a bit Methodist, and you don't expect us to bury him without a full Methodist service, do you?
Well, can't that wait till I get back?
Oh, then you could join us! Oh, Mortimer, you would enjoy the services, especially the hymns. Remember, Martha, how beautifully he used to sing in the choir before his voice changed?
So you'll do this for me? Promise me?
Well, Martha, now that he's cooperating with us, I don't see why not.
Thank you. Have you guys got any paper? I'll be back as soon as I can.
Will this do?
Yeah, it'll be fine. I'll save time by writing my review on the way to the theater.
Well, Abby, Mortimer didn't seem quite like himself today.
Oh, I think I know why.
Well, why?
He's just become engaged to be married. I think that would make any man nervous.
I'm just so happy for Elaine and their honeymoon ought to give Mortimer a vacation. I don't think he got any rest this summer.
Well, at least he didn't go kiting off to China or Spain.
I can never understand why she wanted to go all those places.
Well, to me, it seems like, to Mortimer, theater has always seemed pretty small potatoes. He needs something bigger to criticize, like the human race.
Oh, Abby, if Mortimer's going to join us for the services, well, I have to get another hymn. They're up in my room.
Martha, it's really my turn to read the services, but since you weren't here with Mr. Hoskins, I'll let you do them.
You're very kind here, but are you sure?
It's only fair.
Well, then I think I'll wear my black bombazine and mother's old brooch.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
Martha? Oh, that's me, Birdlane. Abby, you promised not to let anyone in the house.
Oh. Who do you think it is?
Let's go check.
Who is it?
There's two people there. I've never seen them before.
Let me look.
There's a car at the curb. They must have come in that. Do you recognize them?
They're strangers to me.
We'll just pretend we're not home.
Come in, Doctor.
This is the home of my youth. As a girl, I couldn't wait to escape from this place, and now I'm glad to escape back into it.
Yeah, Johnny, it's a fine hideout.
The family must still live here. For something so unmistakably Brewster about the Brewsters. I do hope there's a fatted calf awaiting the return of the chronicle.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Look, Johnny drinks.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Oh, my Aunt Abby and Martha, it's Joanne.
You just get out of here.
But I'm your niece, Joanne.
You don't look like our Joanne, so you just get out of here.
But I am Joanne, and this is Dr. Einstein.
And he's not Dr. Einstein either.
Not Dr. Albert Einstein, Dr. Herman Einstein.
You don't look like our niece.
I see you're still wearing that lovely ring that Grandma Brewster brought you from England. And you, Aunt Martha, still the high collar to hide the scar of grandfather's acid burned you.
Well, she certainly does sound like Joanne.
Have you been in an accident?
No, my face. Dr. Einstein is responsible for Dad. He's a plastic surgeon. He changes people's faces.
But Abby, I've seen that face before. Remember when we took little Schultz boys to the movie theaters and I was so frightened? It was that face.
It was Frankenstein's blood!
Easy, Johnny. Easy. Easy.
Don't worry, ladies. The last 5 years, I give Johnny 3 new faces. I give her another one right away. Oh, this one. Well, I saw that picture too, just before I operate, and I was intoxicated.
You see, Doctor? You see what you've done to me? Even my own family!
Johnny, you're home in this lovely house. Oof. How often she talks to me about Brooklyn, about this house, about her aunts that she loves so much. They know you, Johnny. You know it's Joanne. Speak to her. Tell her so.
Oh, Joanne, what have you been doing these past years?
Yes, Joanna. Where have you been?
Oh, England, South Africa, Australia. The last 5 years in Chicago. Dr. Einstein were in business together.
Well, we went to Chicago for the World's Fair.
Yes, so we found Chicago rather warm.
Yeah, it got hot for us too.
Well, Abby, Martha, it's good to be home again. You're just to remember you. Sweet, charming, hospitable. And dear Teddy, did you ever get into politics? My little brother, Doctor, was determined to become president.
Well, Teddy's just fine. And Mortimer's well, too.
I know about Mortimer. I've seen his picture at the head of his column. He's evidently fulfilled his promise of his early, nasty nature.
We're quite fond of Mortimer. Well, Martha, we mustn't let what's on the stove boil over.
Oh, yes. Well, unless you have somewhere to go, Joanna, we'll be just right back.
All right, Johnny. Where do we go from here? We have to think fast. Police. The police have pictures of that face. They've got to operate on you right away. We need to find some kind of place for the... Ooh. We have to find a place for Mr. Spinozzo, too.
Don't waste any worry on that rat.
Oh, but Johnny, we've got a hot stiff on our hands.
Forget Mr. Spinozzo.
But you can't leave a dead body in the rumble seat. You shouldn't have killed him, Johnny. He's a nice fellow. He gives us a lift. And what happens?
He said I looked like Frankenstein's bride. That's your work, Doctor. You did that to me.
Now, Johnny, we find a place somewhere. I fix you up quick.
No, tonight.
No, not tonight. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I just got here. I can't do it.
I found it!
What did you find, Teddy?
The story of my life, my biography. Here we are, General. Here's me, and here's you at Colbert Cut.
My, how I've changed.
Well, you see, this picture hasn't been taken yet. We're still working on digging locks for the canal. And now, General, you will accompany me on the inspection of the new lock.
Oh, no, Teddy, not to Panama.
Well, we go some other time. Panama's a bit far off, yeah?
Nonsense, it's just down in the cellar.
The cellar.
We let him dig the Panama Canal in the cellar.
General Goethals, as President of the United States, Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy, and the man who gave you this job, I demand you accompany me on the inspection of the new lock.
Teddy, I think it's time you went to bed.
Who are you?
I'm Eleanor Roosevelt. Go to bed.
You're not Eleanor, but your face is familiar. Let me see. Maybe somebody I meet on my hunting trip to Africa. Yes, you look like somebody I might meet in the jungle.
Teddy, this is your sister, Joanne.
She's had her face changed.
Ah, so that's it. A nature faker.
Yes, Teddy, and perhaps now it's time for you to go to bed. Joanne and her friend have to go back to their hotel.
General Goethals, inspect the canal.
All right, Mr. President, we go to Panama.
That's bully, just bully. It's down south, you know.
Well, bon voyage.
And Abby. I must correct your misapprehension. You spoke of our hotel. Well, we have no hotel. We came directly here.
Well, there's a very nice little hotel just...
Aunt Martha, did you not hear me say?
Well, Joanne, I'm afraid we need our rooms.
You need them?
Yes, for our lodgers.
Are there lodgers in this house?
Well, not just yet, but we plan to have some very soon.
Then my old room is still free.
Then there's no place for Dr. Einstein to sleep.
Dr. Einstein can share a room with me.
Joanne, I'm afraid we just can't stay here.
You remembered this afternoon, as a girl I could be disagreeable. It wouldn't be very nice for...
Why don't we just let them stay here for the night?
Well, perhaps. All right, Joanne.
It's settled then. Please get our room ready immediately.
Well, it just needs airing out.
Keep it ready for our lodgers. I think you and Dr. Einstein will find it quite comfortable.
You have the most distinguished guest of Dr. Einstein. I'm afraid you don't appreciate his skill, but you will. In a few short weeks, you'll see me looking like a very different Joanne.
Well, he can't operate on you here.
Once we get back in order... Oh, I forgot to tell you. We're turning grandfather's laboratory into an operating room. We expect to be quite busy.
Joanne, we will not let you turn this house into a hospital.
A hospital? Heavens no! It will be a beauty parlor.
Hey, Johnny.
Dr. Einstein, my dear aunts have invited us to live with them.
Oh, you fixed it.
Well, you're staying here for tonight.
Please get our room ready.
Just for tonight, Joanne.
Hey, Johnny. When I go down to the cellar, what do you think I find?
What?
The Panama Canal.
The Panama Canal.
Yes. It's a whole teddy duck. 6 feet long, 4 feet wide. It just fits Mr. Spinozzo.
Down there?
Yes. You think they knew we were bringing him along this whole time? Oh, that's hospitality.
Rather a good joke on my aunts. They're living with a dead body buried in their cellar.
Now, how do we get him in?
Right. Can't just bring them through the front door. We'll bring up the car between the house and the cemetery. When they've all gone to bed, we'll bring them through the window.
Joanne, your room is ready.
Then you two can head up to bed. We're going to move the car between the house and the cemetery.
Well, it's fun where it is until the morning.
I don't want to leave it in the road. That might be against the law.
Well, what are we going to do?
Well, we're not going to let them stay in this house for more than one night, that's for sure.
What about Mr. Hoskins?
Oh, Mr. Hoskins! He's been so patient, the poor dear. Well, we'll just have to get him down to Panama straight away and hold the services.
I will let Joanne join us for the services.
Oh, of course not, dear. We'll wait until they've gone up to bed and then hold the services then. Oh,
General Goldfuss is very pleased. He says the canal is just the right size.
Teddy, there's been another yellow fever victim.
Oh, dear me, this would be a shock to the general.
Well, we mustn't tell him about it.
I'm sorry, Aunt Martha. It's out of my hands. Army regulations, you know.
Teddy, it would just spoil his visit. We would have to keep it a secret.
A state secret?
Do you promise?
You have the word of the President of the United States. Cross my heart and hope he dies. So, how are we going to keep this secret?
Well, Teddy, you'll go on down to Panama, and then when I turn the lights off, when it's all dark, you'll come upstairs and bring Mr. Hoskins down with you.
You may announce the President will say a few words. Where is the poor devil?
Oh, he's in the window seat.
Oh, it must be spreading. We've never had yellow fever there before.
Abby, you know, I've never seen Mr. Hoskins.
Oh, dear, that's right. You were out. Well, let's just see him now. He's really very nice looking, considering he's a Methodist. Oh!
We'll bring you the luggage through here.
Joanne, your room is ready. You can just head right on up.
I'm afraid we don't keep Brooklyn hours, but you two can head up to bed.
Well, we weren't planning to go to bed until...
Aunt Martha, did you not hear me say go to bed?
Oh, good night, dear.
Good night.
Didn't you intend to go to the laboratory in the morning?
I'll just sit down here and wait till you're up and then turn the lights out.
Mortimer, then what are you doing here?
I came over to see Miss Abby and Miss Martha.
Get the lights, Doctor. You chose a rather untimely moment for a social call.
Perhaps you better explain what you're doing here.
We happen to live here.
You don't live here. I'm in this house every day and I've never seen you before. Where are Miss Abby and Miss Martha? What have you done to them?
I think we better introduce ourselves. This is Dr. Einstein.
Dr. Einstein.
Surgeon of great distinction and something of a magician.
And I suppose you're going to tell me you're Frankenstein's bride?
I'm Joanne Brewster.
Oh, you're Joanne?
So you've heard of me?
Just this afternoon for the first time.
And what did they say about me?
Just that there was another sibling named Joanne. Well, that explains everything. I'll be on my way. If you'll kindly unblock the door.
That explains everything? Just what do you mean by that? Why did you come here at this time of night?
I came over to warn Miss Abby and Miss Martha. I thought I saw someone prowling around the
You
house.
thought you saw someone around the house?
Yes. Isn't that your car?
You saw someone at the car?
Yes.
What else did you see?
Just that, that's all.
I think you're lying.
I think she tells the truth, Johnny. Let's just let her go, yeah?
I think she's lying. Breaking into a house this time of night? I think she's dangerous. She shouldn't be let around loose.
Take your hands off of me!
Doctor!
It's going to be a private funeral.
Teddy, tell these people who I am!
Oh, that's my daughter Alice.
No, Teddy!
Doctor, your handkerchief! The cellar!
What's the matter?
What's going on down there? What's all this noise about?
Joanne, what are you doing?
We caught a burglar. A sneak thief. Go back to your room.
I'll call the police!
We called the police. We'll handle this. Go back to your room. Do you hear me?
Get your hands off of me!
You really think this is my decision? I've been stuck with this monster for 5 years!
Where have you been?
To the Nor-based theater. I should have known better. My God, I'm still there.
Mortimer, this is your sister, Joanne.
I know this isn't a nightmare, but what is this?
I've come home, Mortimer.
Who'd you say this was?
It's your sister, Joanne.
Joanne? Joanne, you always were a horror, but did you have to look like one?
Easy, Johnny. Easy. Settle down.
Mortimer, do you remember the things I used to do to you when we were kids? Remember the time you were tied to the bedpost? The needles under your fingernails.
Yes, I remember. I remember you as the most detestable, vicious, venomous human I've ever known.
Now don't you two start quarreling like children the minute you two see each other again.
Aunt Abby, there won't be a fight. Joanne, you're not one of your get out.
We've been invited to stay.
None in this house.
Well, for tonight,
I don't want her anywhere near me.
well, we've already extended the invitation, and it would be very nice if we backed out now.
Fine. Tonight. But nice thing tomorrow, out. Where are they staying?
We gave them Joanne's old room.
But that's my old room. I'm gonna stay in there. I'm here to stay.
Mortimer, we're so glad.
Johnny, let's just sleep down here, all right?
You know what? You're damn right you'll sleep down here.
All right. You can sleep on the sofa. I'll take the window seat, all right?
The window seat? Well, let's not argue about it. You know, the window seat's good enough for me. I'll sleep on the window seat.
You know, Johnny, all this arguing really makes me think of Mr. Spinoza. Yes, the window seat. Why not?
Mortimer, there's no need to inconvenience you like this. Well, we'll sleep down here.
Joanne, your sudden consideration for me is unconvincing.
Let's just go unpack our bags.
You're just wasting your time, you know. I told you, I'm sleeping down here.
No need for that.
Mortimer!
What's the matter with you, darling?
Mortimer, I've almost been killed.
Abby, Martha!
No, it was more than that, Mortimer. She's some kind of maniac, I'm afraid.
Darling, you're trembling. Have you got any smelling salts?
Well, no, but I do think some hot coffee or tea.
Coffee. Make me some too. And some sandwiches, I'm starving.
Martha, don't forget our little event a little later tonight.
You guys You weren't going to go out somewhere, were you? You know what time it is? It's after 12. 12? Elaine, you've got to go home.
What? We wanted some sandwiches for the both of you. It won't take a minute.
Well, remember, we want to celebrate your engagement, and that's just what we'll do, dear. We'll make dinner for the both of you, and I'll put a bottle of wine.
Fine. No wine.
Mortimer, what's going on in this house?
What do you mean what's going on in this house?
We were supposed to go to the theater tonight and you called it off. You asked me to marry you. I said I would, and not 5 minutes later you wanted to chase me home. Now tonight, just after your sister tries to strangle me, you want to run me home. Now listen, Mr. Brewster. Before I go home, I want to know where I stand. Do you love me?
Elaine, I love you very much. In fact, I love you so much that I can't marry you.
Have you suddenly gone crazy?
Well, no, I don't think so, but it's just a matter of time. You see, insanity runs in the family. Well, it practically gallops. And that's why I can't marry you, dear.
Well, now just because Teddy is a
Well,
little...
no, it goes way back to the first Brewster. You know, the one that came over on the Mayflower. In those days, the Indians used to scalp the settlers. Well, he would scalp the Indians.
Mortimer, that's ancient history.
I mean, it goes back to my grandfather. You know, he used to try his patent medicines out on dead people to make sure it wouldn't kill them.
Well, now he wasn't so crazy. He made $1 million.
There's Elaine. You already said she's a maniac. She tried to kill you.
Yeah, but Joanne's your sister, not you.
And there's Teddy.
Hey, I'm in love with you.
You know, Teddy, he thinks he's Roosevelt. No, dear, I don't think any Brewster should marry. I realize now that, if I met my father in time, I would have stopped him.
Well, now look at your aunts. They're Brewsters, aren't they? And they're the sanest, sweetest people I've ever known.
Well, even they have their peculiarities.
Yes, but what lovely peculiarities. Kindness, generosity, human sympathy.
There's another one.
There are plenty of others you can't tell me anything about your aunts.
I'm not gonna. Listen, Elaine, you've got to go home. Something's come up.
Mortimer, will you at least walk me home? I'm afraid.
Afraid a little walk through the cemetery?
Will you at least kiss me goodnight?
Of course, dear. Okay, go home. I'll call you. Elaine, go home. I'll call you up tomorrow.
You critic!
Elaine. Aunt Abby and Martha, come in here.
Just a minute, dear.
Come in here now.
Yes, dear, what is it?
I
Where's
thought
Elaine?
I thought you promised me not to let anyone in this house.
Well, Joanne just
I don't mean
walked
Joanne.
in. Dr.
I
Einstein.
don't mean Dr. Einstein. Who is that in the window seat?
Oh, dear, we told you, Mr. Hoskins.
It is not Mr. Hoskins.
Well, who could that be?
Are you trying to tell me you've never seen this man before in your life?
I certainly am. This is a fine how do you do. It's getting so anybody thinks they can just walk in this house.
Aunt Abby, don't try that. That's another one of your gentlemen.
That man's an imposter. And if he thinks he can be buried in our cellar, he's mistaken.
Aunt Abby, how can I believe you? You've already admitted to putting Mr. Hoskins in the window seat.
Yes, I did. Mortimer, I'd like to have a word with you.
You know what words about all the time you have, because I've decided you and your doctor friend are getting out of here.
I'm glad you finally realize that me and you can't live under the same house, but you come to the wrong solution. So get your suitcase and get out.
Well, Joanne, you're beginning to bore me. You played your one-night stand in Brooklyn, now get out.
My dear Mortimer, just because you've grown up from the back fence to the typewriter does not mean you've grown up. I'm staying, you're leaving, and I mean now.
If you think I'm gonna be frightened, if you think there's anything
I have lived a strange life, Mortimer, but it has taught me one thing, to be afraid of nothing.
Now, Martha, you just come and see what's in the window seat.
Now,
No
that's
one
happy. Joanne, let Aunt Martha see what's in the window seat. Aunt Abby, I owe you an apology, but I have some good news. Joanne is leaving, and she's taking her cold companion with her. But first, Joanne, you're my sister. You're a Brewster. I want to give you an opportunity and let you get out and take your evidence with you. You can't ask for more than that. Very well. In that case, I'll call the police.
Don't you reach for that telephone. Are you still trying to order me around after seeing what's happened to Mr. Spinalzo?
Spinoza?
I knew he was a foreigner.
Remember what happened to Spinalzo can happen to you, too.
Hello, Miss Abby.
Hello, Officer O'Hara. Can we help you?
Well, I saw the lights on and the window open. I thought there might be sickness in the house. Oh, you have company in. Sorry to disturb you.
No, come in.
Yes, please, come in.
Come right in, Officer O'Hara. This is our nephew, Mortimer.
Pleased to meet you.
And this is our niece, Joanne.
Pleased to meet your acquaintance. Well, it must be nice having your family. Are they staying with you?
Oh, I'm staying. My sister Joanne here was just leaving.
Say, haven't I seen you around here someplace before?
Oh, Joanne hasn't been home in years.
Maybe I've seen a picture of you somewhere.
I don't think so.
Yes, Joanne, I would hurry if I were you. Your things are all packed anyway.
Well, you'll be wanting to say your goodbyes. I best be going.
No. O'Hara, I'd like you to stick around. Just until my sister goes.
Oh, I just came to make sure everything was all right.
Well, we're gonna have coffee in a minute. You wanna join us?
I'm gonna ring in any minute. I best be going.
You can have a cup of coffee with us. Come on, sit down. Stay a while.
I better make some more sandwiches then. I ought to know your appetite by now, Officer O'Hara. It'll just be a minute.
Say, haven't I seen a picture of your sister around here someplace before?
No, I don't think so.
She certainly does seem familiar.
Yeah, she kind of looks like someone you've seen in the movies.
Oh, I never go to movies. Hate them. My mother said the movies is a bastard art.
Yeah, it's full of them. Your mom said that?
Yeah, my mother was an actress. A stage actress! Peaches Latour. Maybe you've heard of her.
Sounds like a name I've seen on the program. What did she play?
Well, her big hit was Mutton Chef. Played for 3 years. I was born on tour, the 3rd season.
You were?
Yep. Soy City, Iowa, and the backstage of Act 2, and Mother had made the finale.
What a trooper. Yeah. There must be a good story in your mother. I write for the theater.
Say, you're not Mortimer Brewster, the dramatic critic, are you?
I am.
You are? Well, I certainly am glad to meet you. Say, Mr. Brewster, we're in the same line of business.
We are?
Yep. Oh, this being on the police force is just temporary. I'm actually a playwright.
How long have you been on the force?
12 years.
Well, I'll bet your story's a honey.
It ought to be, with all the stuff I see being a cop, Mr. Brewster. You have no idea what goes on in Brooklyn.
I think I have.
Say, what time you got?
It's 10 after 1.
Gee, I gotta ring in.
Well, wait, O'Hara. On that play of yours, I may be able to help you.
You would? Gee, it was just my luck walking in here tonight. Look, I'll tell you the plot.
Joanne, wait. You're going now? Good.
Well, everything's just about ready. Oh, Joanne, were you leaving? Isn't this case yours?
Yes, Joanne, you can't go without all of your things. Listen, it's nice meeting you, but you've got to go ring in, right?
Oh, I'm not leaving now, Mr. Brewster.
Why not?
Well, you just promised I'll write my play, didn't you? You and I are gonna write my play together.
No, I can't do that. I'm not a creative writer.
Oh, I'll do the creating. You just put the words to it.
No, O'Hara, I
Now,
can't.
Mr. Brewster, I ain't leaving this house till you tell you the plot.
In that case, we'll be on our way.
Wait, don't try that. Listen, O'Hara, she's leaving now. Just go ring in.
I can wait. I've been waiting 12 years.
I'm sorry I took so long.
Don't bring that in here. O'Hara, join us for a bite in the kitchen.
Of course.
Well, that's nice. Come along, Officer O'Hara.
Are you sure you don't mind eating in the kitchen, officer?
And where else would you eat?
Oh. Well, Joanne, it was nice having seen you again.
Now, Joanne, I'm glad you came back to Brooklyn. Now we could throw you out again. First we go with your boyfriend, Mr. Spinalzo.
Should have known you'd grown up to write a play with a policeman.
Now, get out of here. All 3 of you.
The affair between me and my brother has got to be settled.
Johnny, you've got trouble enough. Your brother gives us a chance to get away. What more could you ask?
You don't understand. This has been going on a good many years.
Now, Johnny, let's get going.
Doctor, you know when I make up my mind.
Yes, I know. When you make up your mind, you lose your head. Brooklyn is not a good place for you.
Doctor!
All right. We've got to stick together. Someday we get stuck together. If we're coming back, do we have to bring these with us?
No, put him in the cellar. Move fast. We gotta find a place for Mr. Spinalzo, too.
remember that hole in the cellar that Teddy dug?
Yeah.
We've got an ace in the hole. Come, I show you.
Joanne! Joanne, come down here. Joanne!
Yes, Mortimer?
I thought I told you to get out of here.
We're not going.
Oh, you're not? You don't think I'm going to do this? You want to know hard and know what's in that window seat?
If you tell O'Hara what's in the window seat, I'll tell him what's down in the cellar.
The cellar?
There's an elderly gentleman down there who seems to be very dead.
What were you doing down in the cellar?
What's he doing down in the cellar?
No thanks, ma'am. They were fine. I've had plenty.
Now what are you going to tell O'Hara?
Hey, Mr. Brewster, your dad's one of here too. Shall I get him in here?
No, O'Hara, we can't do that. Now you've got to ring it.
Oh, I'm not leaving him ringing it now. Say, Mr. Brewster, I'll get him right in here and tell you the plot.
No, we can't do that now. We'll get a loan sometime later.
A loan? How about the back room of Kelly's?
Fine. I'll meet you at Kelly's, but you have to ring in first.
Why don't you two go down in the cellar?
The cellar's fine with me. Is this the cellar?
No. We'll go to Kelly's. Just go ring in on the way.
All right, Mr. Brewster, but that'll only take a couple of minutes.
Mrs. Guy, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll expect you two to be gone. Hey, you know what? Wait for me.
We'll wait for him, Doctor. I've waited a good many years for a chance like this.
We've got him right where we want him. Did he look guilty?
Go get the bags out back from the cellar.
Have they gone? We thought we heard somebody leave.
Just Mortimer. He'll be back in a few minutes. Is there any food left in the kitchen? I'm sure Dr. Einstein and I would enjoy a bite.
Well, you won't have time, and Mortimer wouldn't like it if you were still here when you got back.
Oh no, he'll like it. He's got to like it.
Please get us something to eat while I bury Mr. Spinozzo in the cellar.
Oh no, Joanne, you can't bury him in our cellar. You've got to take him with you.
There's a friend of Mortimer's awaiting him downstairs.
A friend of Mortimer's?
There's an elderly gentleman down there who seems to be very dead.
We must mean Mr.
Oh,
Hoskins.
Mr. Hoskins?
Yes. You know about what's down in the cellar?
yes.
Well, of course, but it has nothing to do with Mortimer.
He's one of our gentlemen. He's part of the 12 graves already down there.
Your gentleman?
Yes, in 12 graves leaves very little room for Mr. Spinozzo.
12 graves. You mean you and Aunt Martha have murdered?
Murder? Dear no, it's one of our charities.
Well, isn't this amusing? Johnny, we've been chased all over the world, yes? These two stayed down right here in Brooklyn, and they do just as good as you do.
What?
You've got 12 and they've got 12.
I got 13.
No, Johnny, we've got 12.
13.
Oh, but you can't count the one in South Bend. He died of pneumonia.
He wouldn't have gotten pneumonia if I hadn't shot him.
Well, the fact of the matter is that you've got 12 kills, and they've got 12 kills. The old ladies are just as good as you.
They are they? Well, that's easily settled. All I need is one more. Just one more.
All right. Here I am.